Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another meta guide for you today in the Sunshine Cup. So the Sunshine Cup is a brand new meta and it begins tomorrow, running alongside the Open Ultra League. So let me know what meta you're going to be running. Are you going to be playing in the Open Ultra League or the Sunshine Cup? I'm definitely going to be trying out the Sunshine Cup because it is brand new, so it should be an exciting meta just to see what we got going on for us. And for the Sunshine Cup, you can only use normal, fire, grass, and ground type Pokemon. And Charizard is banned, so you can't use Charizard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into these battles. Or not battles, excuse me, let's type battles. We're not battling yet. Let's dive right into the guide and see what Pokemon are going to be good. Or at least what Pokemon I think are going to be good and some of the best teams, in my opinion, to start off with. So, for the S rank, we're going to have the first Pokemon, a couple flying types, Pidgeot and Noctowl. Now, obviously, ever since they got the wing attack buff, both of them have been really solid, especially in the Noctowl in Great League. I've seen Pidgeot more so in Ultra League, but both of them are going to dominate, I think, in the Sunshine Cup. They're both really good. I love Pidgeot because I love debuffing my opponent's final Pokemon with Feather Dance. So I love keeping Pidgeot in the back. I love doing it. What can I say? You double debuff them for the rest of the game. It feels amazing. But yeah, no, both of those flying types are going to be really good in this meta, so hopefully you have them. Pidgeot with the wing attack is a legacy move. Feather Dance, I believe, is legacy as well, if I'm not mistaken. So you will have to use, if you don't have one, you have to use a couple of Elite TMs. So hopefully you have a good one. Maybe you already have it, though. Both Pokemon are going to be really good. We have a couple fighting type uses. They're not fighting types, actually, but they use fighting type moves. Double with double kick and Vigoroth with counter. Both of them are really strong in this meta. Both of them, I think, are going to be really good safe swaps. So, yeah, I think both those Pokemon are going to be safe swaps. I think I would probably go with Payback against Double. Yeah, if you have Wild Charge, you're going to hit the Flyers. But if you have Payback, at least you'll do neutral damage towards Galarian Stunfisk. You'll do super effective damage towards that, like, Victini, if you see it. Neutral damage towards, like, Gliscor. Swamp and things like that, although I guess you could go Body Slam against those as well. But yeah, Double's going to be another, Double and Vigoroth both going to be really strong in this meta. Probably used as safe swaps. And then we have Diggersby. Diggersby is going to be good. It does have Pokemon that it has to watch out for, though, right? It has Double, it has Vigoroth. Obviously, it's going to be weak to counter. It's going to be weak to double kick, so it does have to watch out for those. And in addition, the flying types, Earthquake cannot hit the flying types that well, so you really have to go for Fire Punch, unless if you run Hyper Beam, which could be a thing. But of course, if you run well, yeah, I mean, you could run Hyper Beam, I guess. It has to watch out for Swampert, even Gliscor, unless if you're running Hyper Beam. So Hyper Beam could be a thing. If you're running Hyper Beam, you have a lot that you can actually hit where you don't have to. I mean, you're probably not. Honestly, the opponent's probably not going to shield if you like Hyper Beam a Pidgeot, for example. They probably won't shield. So both moves I think are going to be good, but we'll see which one Diggersby decides to commonly go with. And then we have Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk, you all know Galarian Stunfisk at this point. It's going to be obviously weak to those fighting uses. It's going to be strong against the flying types. You all know Galarian Stunfisk at this point. For the air rank, yeah, we're going to have Victini as a really good fire type in this meta. I love the quick attack, love the V-Create, gets to the moves really fast. It also has Psychic. It also has Overheat, whichever move you want to go. If you want coverage, you probably go with that Psychic so you can at least hit like Swampert, right? But yeah, I mean, great Pokemon overall. And then we have Gliscor. Gliscor's going to be a really good one. Or Shadow Gliscor. Yeah, I mean, it's resisting the fighting attacks, which is going to be really good. Resisting that Earthquake if Diggersby is running it. Fire Punch doesn't do much. It's going to do well against Galarian Stunfisk with Earthquake. Night Slash against Pidgeot and Noctowl, although still not necessarily too great, just because Night Slash is not going to do a lot unless if you get a boost. But the wing attack damage with Night Slash is adding up. That's why I like having the Shadow one, right? It does a lot of damage. I think the regular one would work as well, but I love the Shadow one. Then Swampert is going to be a great Pokemon, of course. There's so many Pokemon Swampert does well. Not so many, but there's a lot of Pokemon Swampert does well against. The Stunfisk, the Gliscor, Gligar, Blaziken, and then neutral damage towards like the flying types and even the fighting types. Just a great Pokemon in general, because there's not really going to be many grass types. I mean, we'll talk about some grass types, but they're not even in any of these tiers. They're in like the other options. So there's some good grass types we might see, but the grass has to watch out for the flyers, which I feel like a lot of trainers are going to try to counter because I think the flyers are going to be really strong. So I think Swamp is going to be really good this meta. Moving on to the B rank, we do have Miltank actually. Miltank with counter gets to the moves pretty fast. It has Ice Beam, it has Body Slam spam. Ice Beam, of course, going to hit those flyers for super effective damage. I love it. So I think Miltank is going to be pretty solid for this meta. So definitely be on the lookout for Miltank. Then we have Gligar, similar to Gliscor. Gligar, I think, is going to be really strong as well. You could go with the Gligar and Gliscor team. And then next up we have Munchlax. So think Lickitung for other leagues. Munchlax is going to be doing pretty good in this meta with Lick. Body Slam, it's just going to be pretty tanky. It could just handle itself really well. It doesn't want to go up against like a normal type, so it does have that to look out for it. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. It's going to spam out those Body Slams. Then we have Blaziken. Blaziken, another fighting user. The counter damage, it's not a normal type, so it is not weak like Double and Vigoroth to fighting attack. So if it's going up against one of those, it's going to be looking pretty good. But yeah, think about it. It's going to do well against the Double, the Vigoroth, the Diggersby, the Stunfisk, right? Obviously it has some weaknesses like the flying types, the Swampert, but still, overall it's a pretty good Pokemon. I like Blaziken for this meta. I think it's going to be pretty decent. Moving on to the other options, we do have Abomasnow, and Abomasnow, of course, Abomasnow is going to love to meet up with one of those flyers, although Abomasnow is a grass type as well as an ice type, so it is weak to flying as well, but still, you can spam out the Powder Snow, the Weather Balls so fast against the flying types. Rufflet, yeah, Rufflet could actually be pretty good. It has Wing Attack, I believe. Might want to double check that, but it does have to be XL'd. I don't think you're going to see Rufflet, to be honest, only because it has to be XL'd. I think it's good, but only because it's an XL Pokemon, I really don't think a lot of trainers are going to invest in it. We got a couple grass types, Jumpluff and Tropius. I do think you might see one grass type on a team here or there. I think they're good. You obviously don't want them on the flying types, right? But both of them are resisting the fighting moves like the counter and the double kick. And they're doing well, I guess, pretty well against, Diggersby. Although Diggersby, I guess, does have Fire Punch, but Fire Punch is not really a strong move. Overall, it has to watch out for the fighting types. Not the fire types, excuse me. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. I think these grass types could do pretty well in this meta. So we might see these as the league goes, not the league, but the cup goes on. Then we have Swallow, believe it or not. Swallow does have Wing Attack, Brave Bird. It's actually a pretty good Pokemon. I might actually want to use Swallow just for fun. I think it's good. I don't think it's going to be as good as Pidgeot or Noctowl, but it's going to be pretty good. So Swallow could be a lot of fun to try out. It's a pretty cheap investment as well. It's only like 10,000 for a second move, but same with like Pidgeot too anyway. Then we have Obstagoon, another counter user, although Obstagoon is double weak to fighting, so it does have to watch out for that. That's why I don't think it's as good as the other ones, but still, it's still a good Pokemon, and it's just, I'm sure we'll see Obstagoon. Then we have the Ninetales, the Kanto Ninetales, going to be a pretty solid fire type. We have Credille, we have Greedent. Greedent is really spammy with Body Slam, as well as Crunch. If you happen to go up against like Victini, Crunch is going to be doing really well. Yeah, just a spammy Pokemon, just has to watch out for those fighting type users, right? And then we have Luvantis as yet another grass type. Could be pretty interesting to see Luvantis. We got Flygon and Moltres. Moltres does have Wing Attack, so keep that in mind. It does have Wing Attack. I want to say it's a Legacy move. No, is it Sky Attack or Wing Attack that's Legacy? I don't remember. It might actually be Sky Attack. I don't remember. So double check that, but it does have a Legacy move that you would ultimately want because you would want Sky Attack anyway on it. But no, Moltres actually could be a lot of fun to use. But that's going to be the Sunshine Cup for you. Let's go ahead and move on to the solid team options. So for the first team is going to be Vigoroth in the lead, double Flyers. Of course, the Flyers not really going to like the Steel types like Galoy and Stunfisk. That's pretty much the only one we have. But Vigoroth will love it, right? So Vigoroth will do pretty well against the Galoy and Stunfisk. And the Flyers, honestly, against everything else besides that Stunfisk, is pretty much doing, at minimum, neutral damage. So the Flyers are going to be all over the place, I think. That's why I don't think we'll see as much as the grass types, but I think the Flyers are just going to be so good. The only thing they have to watch out for is the Stunfisk, from what I could tell. There might be some other spicy picks, that trainers might try and use. But yes, Galarian Stunfisk is the big thing, I would say. But that's why I put Vigoroth on the lead. You could always say swap into, let's say, Noctowl to lure out a possible Stunfisk, because Noctowl, even against Stunfisk, isn't even that bad, to be honest. So moving on, the next team we have Gliscor in the lead with, well, double fighting uses, a counter user, Vigoroth, and a double kick user, Dubwool. So of course the backline, well, the backline's not going to like fighting, but the thing is, most of the fighting types, like the Obstagoon, the Dubwool, the Vigoroth, they're all also weak to fighting attacks. Blaziken is not, so you do have to watch out for that. But again, wing attacks from the Gliscor. You can lure it out with Vigoroth, safe swap into Vigoroth. Vigoroth is a great safe swap. Lure out the best answer to Vigoroth. Let's say it's a Blaziken, let's say it's an opposing Vigoroth or Dubwool or whatever. That's totally fine. Gliscor, if it is Blaziken, you probably lose that matchup, but then Gliscor can come in and maybe farm down, right? The next team we have Swampert, Victini, and Pidgeot. So yeah, it looks like a pretty good team to me. Pidgeot is going to be pretty much safe. The other two Pokemon, obviously the Swampert does well against the Stunfisk. Victini can as well, although you are weak to both of the charge attacks coming in from that Stunfisk. So you do have to watch out for that, but you do have the V-Create, which is going to be super effective to do a load of damage to it. I think Victini is okay as a safe swap. Just have to watch out for a Swampert. We'll see how common Swampert is, but yeah, pretty good team. And then next up we have a Gliscor and a Gligar team with Dubwool in the lead. So, I think these two Pokemon do really well together. You do have to watch out for Swampert. I think this team would struggle against Swampert. Dubwool is okay against Swampert. It's not terrible. You can spam the body slams. And you can lure out obviously, if you want to lure it out, you would have to switch into Gliscor to lure it out. But I would say most teams are probably going to have Vigoroth on it. I think Vigoroth is going to be so common. So you do resist the counter attacks yeah, so Gliscor can switch in and see if there's a Swampert in the back, and just so Gligar can be free later. I think this team could work out pretty well, relatively well, we'll see. And then the next team we have Noctowl in the lead with Abomasnow and Victini in the back. So I think Abomasnow could be pretty good in this meta to knock out all the Flyers, because I do think Flyers are going to be really common, as I mentioned. Obviously, it's going to do well against the Flyers, it's going to do well against the Swampert, against the Gliscor, Gligar, it's going to do well against the grass types, should you run into any grass types. The only thing is, it does have to watch out for those fighting type uses, like Dubwool, like Vigoroth, things like that. But you do have the Victini that will resist those moves. And then you do also have the Noctowl, although Noctowl doesn't resist the moves, I guess. But still, it's not too bad. And then next up we have Diggsby in the lead with Blaziken and Swallow. So I did add Swallow. You could add another flying type like Noctowl or Pidgeot if you choose to. I just wanted to add Swallow. I think Swallow could be a lot of fun in this meta. I think it's actually pretty good. I don't know if it's going to compete with the other Flyers, but no, I think it's pretty good. It is really frail, so you do have to watch out for that. But anyway, this is going to be the solid team options. Let me know what you think of the Sunshine Cup. Let me know what team you plan on using, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.